This is a story about how Tompkins County Animal Control failed me and I had to do the job for them. Thank you. Tompkins County is in upstate New York, where I went to college. And the summer after my sophomore year, I stayed on campus to work in a lab. My job was consisted of taking thousands of frozen spit samples, defrosting them one by one, putting a drop of blue dye in them, and then testing how blue they became using an instrument I called Sally the spectrophotometer. It was a lot of fun. One day I came home and I was living in the house of a chemistry fraternity of which I was a member. And you have to understand, a fraternity for chemistry students is not quite like a regular fraternity. First of all, it's co-ed. And second, it's full of people whose idea of a practical skill is being able to light a Bunsen burner. So one day I come home and my housemates are a little bit more riled up than usual. And also the doors to the living room are closed for some reason. And when I ask what's going on, they say there's a bat in the living room. So I'm not particularly afraid of bats, but I had received an email recently that said that there had been a number of reported cases of rabid bats in the area. And while bats are not usually going to attack humans, if they're rabid and they happen to scratch or bite you, you should seek medical attention immediately, because it's very serious. So at this point, I'm pretty much convinced there's a rabid bat in my living room. So my thought, being a law-abiding citizen who pays his taxes, is that we should call animal control. You know how that is going to end. They said it's not their job. And I thought, whose job is it? And it occurs to me it's my job. I live in this house as a brother in this fraternity. I'm part owner of the house. And my father had taught me that you have to step up and take responsibility for things that need to be done. So I figure I'm going to need to do this. And me and another guy, we decided we're going to take care of this. We dress up in our warm clothes, right, to protect ourselves from the bat. Put on our gloves, our jackets, right, and it's summertime, right, like it's hot, like it is today. So we're wearing our winter clothes, and we go looking in the fraternity random storage bins to try to find some kind of equipment to deal with this bat. And he finds a hockey mask and a goalie stick, right? So he's like, I'm going to put this mask on, and I'm going to prod the bat with the hockey stick and get it to fly away. And I'm looking around, right? Like I got my hooded sweatshirt on, I got it pulled tight, right? Like a small surface area. But there's no more goalie sticks, right? But I find a super soaker, one of those high-powered water guns. So I'm like, great, I can shoot the bat, and won't really hurt it, but it will get it to fly away. So he goes on one side of the room, I go on the other side of the room. He kind of like prods the bat a little bit, and it flies over towards me. It's flying right under the ceiling. It flies towards me. I shoot it with the water gun. Living out the fun-loving childhood I never had. It flies back towards him, and he's waving the goalie stick around, right? Like, oh, I'm going to scare the bat away, and it's going to fly back towards Dan. But apparently, the echolocation system of a bat's not really designed for goalie sticks. So it flies right into the stick and falls straight to the ground. And we feel terrible, right? Because it was never our goal to hurt this bat. So I walk over there and look at the bat, look at each other, don't know what to do. Look at the bat, look at each other, look at the bat, it flies off. Perched on the other side of the room, so I go over there, shoot it. Flies towards him, he's jumping around, it flies back towards me, avoids the hockey stick this time. I shoot it again, flies towards him, comes back. But at this point, it's flying like shoulder height, right? So I'm shooting it and I'm diving behind a couch to get out of the way. Flies towards him, he's waving the stick around, flies into the stick again, falls to the street. Feel terrible, but we're not falling for that trick again. So we wait. Nothing happens. I go over there, we look at the bat, look at each other, look at the bat, flies off again. Go back, shoot it with a water gun. It flies towards him. He's jumping around. Like at this point, it's flying at like waist height. I'm thinking, well, at least the good news is that it's easier to find the porch door, so it can fly out. This poor animal, right? Like it's twice concussed and waterlogged now. Finally finds the door and flies out. And as happy as I was for myself and my brothers for getting the bat out, I was happier for the bat.